You keep saying that they're not in the title race, but they've got the tactical flexibility. They've got players that are performing very well under Enzo Maresca. They have options if they want to change it as well. And right now, OK, one game in hand for Liverpool, but only 4 points off it. Are they actually closer than Enzo Maresca would have us believe?
100%. You know, even when you watch interviews and you're sort of like, you're thinking, really? Like, but I mean, internally inside, you know, you can imagine that. Of course, you have to believe. You know, you speak about the squad in depth, and you know the players that that come off the bench. You know, that sort of quality, having that luxury to even rest players and get that same sort of level in terms of quality. For me, I would definitely say seeing the game yesterday and how they played and the players that they've got to come off the bench, strong side.
But the average age is still only 23. Is the danger, Jamie, for everybody else? If it's not this season, then it could be the next season. And the next 5 seasons for this Chelsea team.
You know, the manager, Maresca's he's not calling on the title, but he's not afraid to say, when I spoke to the Chelsea hierarchy, when I did my job interview, he actually told them, you're going to be at the top of sort of English and European football for the next 4 to 5 years. So he doesn't want to call it on right now, and maybe that's sensible. But I look at Liverpool, City, who've won the title, Arsenal have been close in the last couple of years, and I do look at those teams. I actually do think Man City will struggle to finish above Chelsea. I said that last week. But I still look at the goalkeeping situation and at centre-back. And I think you think of Alisson and Van Dijk. City, in the past, you think of Ederson and Ruben Diaz in that position. Arsenal, you think of Saliba and Raya, who's come in. And I think almost every title winner has had that sort of figure, whether it's at the top end of the pitch, a goalkeeper, a big, strong centre-back. And even yesterday, I think a better team than Tottenham could have capitalised on a couple of things early on. Obviously, Badiashile found it tough in the first half. The goalkeeper, a couple of clearances here and there. So that just makes me a little bit reticent to sort of say, I think Chelsea can win the title. I don't think Manchester City can win the title, but I just think Liverpool and Arsenal may still just have the slight edge because of that reason.
And as for one of your former clubs, Jermaine, Tottenham, not in the picture in terms of the top half, they're getting entertainment. They're seeing loads of goals.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
I mean, of course the fans are going to be frustrated. I'd love to stand there and speak about, the amount of goals that they score. I mentioned before about, how Tottenham play. I think when you look at last season, the first 10 games, all the Tottenham fans were like, this is unbelievable to watch. I played against Ange's Celtic team. Everything was like quick restarts and energy. And like I was mentioning about the fullbacks, create a lot of chances, score a lot of goals. But it's just the other side of it, And it's not, I wouldn't say it's the manager going against his principles. I just feel like sometimes you have to be able to adapt. I'm not saying he can't adapt, but, the state of the game changes, the environment. There's times where, Carragher, you mentioned about, there's nothing wrong with, getting back into a low block and just seeing the game out. I think if you'd have done that against Chelsea, someone, taking that responsibility and saying, you know what, for 10 minutes, let's just sit in. The fullbacks, you stay here. And then let's get through. In the second half, we start fast again. If we can't get the third goal, we protect the 2-0.
You mentioned about the manager that you had before. I love Ange Postecoglou since he's come into the Premier League the last 18 months in terms of the football they play. It's exciting. They are the most entertaining team, I think, in the last 18 months who I've seen.
And is there something to be said for that?
Yeah, of course there is. And all of the supporters wanted their Tottenham back. And in some ways, he's given them their Tottenham back. They're exciting to watch. Almost everybody's second team. But you don't ever think they'd probably go on and win something. Now, is that a little bit unfair, me saying that? Because do Tottenham ever win anything? That's the point. Is this a team set up to win big things? Now, I said yesterday, if certain things don't change, eventually he'll be out of a job. And I don't want him to be, because I enjoy watching him play a lot more than I watched previous managers of Tottenham play. But the fact when they're 9th, I think we looked at a graphic since this Chelsea game last season to where they are right now, the 9th in the table, it has to be better than that for Spurs. No one's expecting Spurs to win the title, if we're being totally honest. But I just think, if he doesn't bow to certain little things that we're talking about there, eventually that's what happens. You go to Man City because you stick to that and you win a game 4-0, but then you'll get battered by another team. And that you don't ever get that consistency you need, I think, to be a Champions League club. That is what Tottenham want.
I suppose in their defence, they might say that they've also lent on signing of young players in recent transfer windows with I don't know, one eye on the future. But Ange Postecoglou, we've heard from him this season, he's saying in that second season...
He wins.
He wins. He always wins. They're 9th in the Europa League at the moment, so just outside that automatic section with the Rangers to come. But then that Carabao Cup game against Manchester United, you feel that is That's pretty big, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's massive. Obviously, the manager come out and he said, his second season he wins. Fair play to him. I actually still believe that he believes that. I think when you look at Tottenham and you spoke about the Man City game, you watch that game, you think, wow, that's the level. Without being biased, but you look at something, you think one of the best teams to watch in terms of how they play, the excitement. But it was a big statement in that. But obviously, I would love to see it happen. It's been a long time in that, because. Was it 2008?
Honestly, I would love to see Tottenham win a trophy. I say this a lot. There's so many teams in this country in the past, they've got great histories and we're talking 10, 15, 20. I think Everton and Aston Villa are two clubs I always associate, when I was growing up as a kid watching these, great teams. Tottenham was one of them. And I want to see trophies spread around, between other teams, and it gives us something different to talk about. I don't want to keep saying Tottenham haven't won a trophy or how long it is. You want to see someone come in and give you something and talk about a different narrative. And I hope that is with Ange.